news for you.
Oh, just those guys? I'll take it.
Any concern on Eddie?
Came in, got treatment on it, so wouldn't be fully transparent. So nothing, he kicked today, so nothing so far that would make me concerned. But obviously, anytime your kicker reports anything, it makes you a little bit reticent. But nothing that's a major concern yet.
Given that he's even just on the injury report, would you consider bringing in someone on the practice squad?
There's potential of that.
Has he kicked at all inside Bank of America?
I think he's kicking in there right now. We've had the concert was up and all that stuff, so our field crew's done a great job of turning some things around so that he could, get out there after the game on Saturday or Monday, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's been able to get outside. All right, thanks, guys.
How you guys looking at practice today?
I thought today was good. I thought there was good energy. I think we feel like a team that really is excited to play and wants to play, and I just encourage them again. It's not time for the game yet. The game's on Sunday. Make sure we're really locked into every moment of this week, and I think probably it's a long training camp. Like I should remind them we showed up in July. It's now September, right? So I know they're anxious to play, but we have to go through every step of the process, get ready this week. So good practice. We look clean. We're healthy. We'll get after it again tomorrow. See where we are.
Is it hard to find that balance between excitement and focus?
Yeah, you heard me say all the time we're at a war for focus. We're always trying to get guys to be focused and in the moment. I know they're excited to play in the game and they're looking ahead to the game, but that's not how you win. You win by being right here, right now, and then when the game comes, being in the here and now. So they did a great job of that all camp, and then just reminded them, hey, stay that way this week. So I'm expecting them to do that.
How does a team prepare for a team that has a new quarterback but is in the same system? Are you guys watching Jacoby in Miami and then Baker tape in Cleveland?
Yeah, we study everything.
Yeah.
If you go back and study coordinators, at the previous stops, I think you study a little bit of everything. So obviously, we studied Jacoby in the preseason game they played. Obviously,
Sure.
Going back to Indianapolis, Miami, but then we also study the offense. As we said, the first game you have to kind of prepare for a little bit of everything. We'll have to be really locked in as a team and as a coaching staff in this game.
And then you guys offensively, do you feel like you guys have a little bit of an element of surprise considering all the new parts that you have in the very important places, quarterback, play caller?
Yeah, I hope. I think people kind of know who Ben is, and kind of obviously they know who Baker is, but in terms of what we're going to do and how we're going to play, the first game does offer a little bit of suspense. So, but you know what? They at the end of the day, the game will come down to blocking and tackling and all those things. So that'll kind of be there for the first quarter, and then I think it kind of evaporates and guys settle into the game, and you just kind of play ball.
Coach, you wanted to. You spoke about wanting to, as far as preparation. One of the areas was the red zone offense. How comfortable do you feel with that going into this week?
Well, we did a lot of red zone defensive work this week. Starting today, offensively, I think we've done a good job of making sure we add a little bit of red zone every day. Friday being the major day that we do it. But we have kind of our core plays and things that we believe in down there, and they're an excellent defense. They provide a lot of issues for us. So I think for us, we're just going to focus on what we do, and I can't really offer statements of where I think we are. I'm really pleased with where the team is. I'm excited to see them play. I think we have to go play the first game and just kind of let it rip and see kind of who we are and what we look like.
In terms of coaching staff, your first year here, you had the COVID situation, which no one can imagine trying to be a first-time NFL coach in that situation. And then last year and now this year, is there a different sense of calmness going into game one as opposed to maybe the first 2 years, that you just have a better grasp of what's going on around you and not just the sheer what's happening?
Well, I certainly feel calmer this year than anything else. I think as much as I think the storyline from you guys, you guys have asked me about going back to OTAs, is just kind of a core group of players that I think we're on the same page. The first year, the second year, a lot of things that maybe I do or they do. You're trying to figure each other out, and you throw into the fact that you can't sit down face to face with someone and have a conversation. You're saying, hey, what time can I FaceTime you or whatever because of the rules, or you're wearing a mask. So I think over the course of a year, over the course of 2 years, and to be quite honest, going through a lot of adverse times, going through a lot of difficult times together. When you go through adversity, you really learn who someone is. You learn who you can count on. And there's a lot of guys on this team that I've counted on. And hopefully there's a bunch of guys on this team who can say that hopefully they feel like they can count on me. So I think my feeling about our players is probably the strongest. And then I do really enjoy this coaching staff. I enjoy working with Fit. I enjoy the group of people that's here at the Panthers. So I think all of us kind of know what to expect heading into the first game.
How valuable has Baker been this week getting with your defensive players and talking about the Browns offense?
I think you probably have to ask the guys more. I know some of those guys have talked to each other, but some of them have played against each other a little bit. So I think you have to. I saw I just walk around the other day, and I think he was going to find Baker to talk about a couple things. So I think that, but that's obviously Hickey was there. Different guys will play with different guys. That's kind of this league. At the end of the day, guys are what they put on tape, and our guys are doing a lot of film study and. But I'm sure Baker's given some guys some insights.
Matt, you talked Monday about you want guys to be themselves, including Baker. Will you at all talk to him this week, or have you talked to him just about staying focused on the game? Don't worry about the revenge factor or anything. Will you talk to him, or have you talked to him about that?
Yeah, same answer I gave the other day. I talk to everybody all the time, but like I said, there's been no signs to me with Baker that that this isn't he's just preparing for the game. He's locked in on the game plan. He's locked in on the protections. He's locked in on the run game stuff. He's had a couple of excellent days of practice. So I think with any player, if I ever felt like they're at all distracted, I would certainly say something. But I felt no distraction from him, and I felt no distraction from any of our other guys. When you're facing a good team like this, you know that you need to focus on your job to have a chance to win. So I haven't seen anything that worries me at all.
Tough test for Icky right out of the gate with Myles Garrett. Have you seen his preparation? How confident are you in him heading into the game?
Well, I'm confident in Icky, but I also know he's a young player, and he's played against some of the best defensive ends in football. What better way to go do it than to go do it against the best? And you'll have some reps. You learn from the reps as you go. This isn't like an all or nothing. He's going to get in the game. He's going to adapt as the game goes on. I think one of the great things is we have great ends. He goes to practice. He goes against Ryan Burns. He goes against Haynes. He goes against Etor. We have some guys who can rush too. So, he's a talented player. Every day is going to be a new day for him in terms of learning. But I think he's a really smart player, and so his level of preparation. And I was in here, I think Thursday night. Red Hot Chili Peppers was Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night. So I think I was one of the last guys in here. I'm not humble bragging. It's just because I didn't have anything else to do, and he and Christian were the last two guys in the training room. It's actually pretty cool because there was one last chiropractic appointment left, and Christian went to get on it and saw Icky waiting and said, "You know what? It pains me to do this, but I'm going to give it to you because you're an O-lineman." So Christian got up and let Icky get on there. But I guess my point is that Icky's a guy that works. He stays late. He shows up early. He's going to go out and play against great players this week. I can't wait to see him play. And you know what? We'll just keep coaching him all throughout the game.
Matt, have you guys named captains yet? And if you have, who are they?
We have not ready to announce it yet. We kind of did staggered voting as the entire training camp has gone on. Okay. I really wanted to give guys a chance to see guys. So right off the bat they voted, and they voted a little bit more. So we had our last vote today. Okay. So it's probably sitting on my desk. So I can't answer it yet, but we'd probably announce that hopefully.
Back on the kicker, Matt. Because of the situation in Buffalo last year, will you guys err on the side of caution
in terms of
bringing in somebody so you don't have to have a receiver kit?
You wouldn't be like even in Buffalo last year. You can't put someone up on game day. You'd have to do it 4 o'clock the day before. So unless that was a COVID rule before, so we'd still be stuck in that same sort of a situation. The good news now is because as we kind of got it in the last game, PJ can hold, Heck can punt, Heck can kick. Excuse me. So Hecker would be our kicker, whereas last year our punter at the time wasn't really a guy who kicked. So. But even if something were to happen like right before the game, if we can't do anything, it has to be 4 o'clock the day before. All that being said, I think we've worked Heck, we've worked PJ, so I think we have a kind of a backup at every one of those positions. We've worked Heck at backup quarterback. He's our third quarterback on game day, so we've kind of covered all the bases.
You're talking about keeping the energy level and excited level of practice kind of balanced with the guys. What about with you? Do you have like an extra energy level when it comes to game week? Do you kind of have to check yourself sometimes?
Well, the hard thing about game week is you don't get a lot of sleep, so sometimes you can come across tired. But I'm not. I'm excited to play. I'm excited, but I'm also excited. Like, I mean, I love practice. I love being around the guys. I love, the hard part about this job is for half the year the guys aren't in the building and you're kind of like just doing a regular job, and then when the guys show up, that's what you love. And so, I was in the weight room early this morning. Frankie Lou was in there at 6:10, getting a workout in. I love all those parts of this, and then game day to me is the icing on the cake. So, but again, just like the players, I too have to fall in love with the day-to-day preparation process of getting ready for the game on Sunday. Because when Sunday comes, we want to play without fear. We want to go out there and cut it loose, and so we have to earn that throughout the week.
Big picture, how important is it for you guys for what you want to accomplish throughout the season to play well right off the bat, not just for the team but for Baker too, and what you want to accomplish at quarterback?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. In my mind, I'm not gonna even think about what if we don't play well. I can't think in those terms. I expect us to play well. We've practiced well and we have a good team. So, what exactly that means. I think the one thing that with the young teams kind of we've had the last couple of years is you can't ever start to assign importance to different games. Like at the end of the year, like you guys say the record, you don't say but there's no asterisks. It's like guys, your record is what your record is, and so we're going to play every single game. This is the game in front of us. When I talk about being in the moment, I 1,000% believe in it. So meetings after this, and then we'll play as well as we possibly can on Sunday. We're going to go in there expecting to win, wanting to win. When the game's over, we'll debrief the game. We'll get ready for the next one. So, but that being said, I expect us to play well because I think we have a good team.
Now, what has made the Browns defense, let's say, over the last few years, obviously difficult to run against, but just difficult, period, to go up against? Obviously, you touched on the two defensive ends and so forth. But what in your mind has made them just really tough to play against?
Yeah, well, this is a passing league, and they have an excellent pass defense. Obviously they derive a lot of pressure from their rush, but they've got a tremendous secondary, excellent linebacking core. They can match up with you. They can play quarters, they can play man, they can bring pressure when they need to. But so I think they're really well rounded. They have playmakers and difference makers at every level of the defense, and that's why that's why their passing defense has been so good. So to me, we have to not only block those guys, but obviously you have to get open against Ward and all. They got great players everywhere.
Hey Matt, I'm following up on Icky. They got Clowney listed as the right defensive end. How much do they flip flop with Garrett and Clowney and?
I don't know what their plan will be. Obviously, he can go any which way he wants. So and at the end of the day, they're both long, explosive guys. So we'll just kind of planning on line up and blocking who's there. But Icky's planning on seeing Miles and Garrett and both as well. They both have a plan for both guys.
Do they do a lot of flipping? That's what I guess what I'm saying. I've seen on tape.
Yeah, I expect Miles Garrett to be over top of Icky is what I would expect.
I was talking to JJ in the locker room yesterday. He said it's good when you start, or I guess Monday, you start at home because you don't have the ups for the first game, then you kind of go down after that, then you come back up for the first home game or whatever it might be for the season opener. Do you like opening at home so you just have that one high, then you just get in the groove of things?
I love the fact the road. Yeah, if we're on the road, I'd be excited. We've opened at home the last 2 years, so I'm excited about it. I'm excited for obviously for us a chance to play in front of our fans. Guys to play in front of their family and friends. I think that's those are important things, and so obviously there'll be a rush of adrenaline, there'll be a ton of energy, and all those things. For the first 5 are at home. So as we as a team try to take this step in the season. Playing well at home is really important for us. It's right there, to start the season.
You touched on the defense. Can you also talk about the offense and what challenges that are present for your defense? The Cleveland Browns offense.
They have elite run game. They'll line up. They run the ball first and second down. They run the ball 55-56% of the time, and they do it well. And they're an excellent wide zone team. Coach Callahan does it as well as anybody else. They get the ball to the perimeter. They'll challenge your edges. So they have an excellent, run game. And then, they've added Amari Cooper. They have David Njoku. They have playmakers on the outside, difference makers on the outside. Donovan Peoples-Jones. So, you can load up and try to take away the run game because of the problems they present, and then the ball can go outside. And then excellent play action game. naked play action game off of the double move violators to get big plays. So they do a bunch of things really well on offense. Obviously, Coach Stefanski and has been a coordinator for a long time and calls him as head coach, and they do a good job.
In terms of the run game, in terms of that run game, is it obviously they have special backs, but is it scheme? Is it the way they block it up that makes them so difficult? I mean, where does their strength lie in the run game?
I think they have an excellent scheme, but they have great players. On the offensive line. They've got a ton of extremely talented players. From Conklin to Antonio to Wills to they're across the board. Teller, Kozik, they're all excellent players, and then they got a good tight end core. I thought Njoku was going to come play for me at Temple until he broke my heart the next day. But he's been a great player for a long time. And as you said, the backs. Chubb, Hunt, they get the ball on the edge and they can go. So adding in Amari Cooper, so it's obviously a good scheme, but they have great players to go along with a great scheme.
Everybody good? All right,
Thanks, guys. Good job.